I did not plan to be a nurse. Actually, I will say that I'm one of those young people who never even have a plan of what to become or what to do in life. You just know that you must go to school.
I didn't plan to become a nurse. I was forced, coerced into the profession by my late father.
How did I become a nurse? I must say I was forced. My mother wanted me to be a nurse.
You know, when children are still in the primary, secondary, they talk of top professions. I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, you know. Then, I do not have nursing at the back of my mind. I wanted to study medicine. When I tried JAMB, and maybe I didn't have any godfather to support me, so I had to go for nursing.
A niece of mine who happens to be the daughter of a nurse, who also was my aunt, and we have always related to her, and we have always seen that woman as somebody that takes care of everybody. Our own children, our own family, and the extended family. Her name is Chief Mrs. Mary Bifari from Imesile. We know her as Mama Nurse, but it never occurred to me that I would be a nurse until when the daughter, who I happened to relate to very closely when I was in the secondary school, whose name is Iyabo Bifari, who just called me and said, just sent me a message and said, they are taking the form in School of Nursing, UCH, and I think you should go and collect it. I was then working as a clerk at the Ministry of Establishment, Oyo State Secretariat. And then I was still trying to do the university exam, that's the university exams then. But all along, I was not too sure whether I would even go to a university because I couldn't be sure of where the money will come from if I happened to go to university, because my parents were actually not that buoyant in terms of having resources. In fact, as at the time I left secondary school, I still owed my school money. And I even missed part of my secondary school examination because I owed the school money and I was not allowed to do my first paper. So I was just to work as a usual person, work at the secretariat, make some money, see if you can enter a university, and you keep working while you send yourself to school when she sent the information.
Well, she told me then that during that time, she wanted to be a nurse. And then the only nurse was in Iba, Belkuta, and her mother didn't want to release her that far.
Because actually, I don't know what nursing entails. It's just going into hospital whenever I'm being sick, for somebody to take care of me, and we leave. But when he now said I have to go into nursing, whether I like it or not, is nursing.
Well, she actually was in the UK for studies, and she told me then that she was in the University College Hospital in London, and she saw how nurses were, and she thought they were smart, she thought they were intelligent, and she thought that would suffice to if I go in for nursing. And she was particular about University College Hospital, Ibadan.
And you know why that I got attracted? They were paying those that were in School of Nursing level, what we call level 4 then. So with the money coming from that, at least I was assured that I don't have to depend on anybody. I can take care of myself while I still go on with schooling. That was how I ended up in nursing. In fact, one of my bosses then called me and said, don't go to School of Nursing. You are not a material for nursing. You are a university material. And one of my colleagues also called me and said, nursing of all things. But I told that person that, what is wrong with nursing? But what actually attracted me finally was the fact that at least I'm going to have this monthly income that is going to help me sustain myself.
When I was growing up, the picture of nurses I had in my head was changed when I got into the school.
Because my ultimate was to go to the university and be a lecturer. So I wanted to know if there was anything called BSc nursing. So when I found out that they were offering BSc nursing in the University of Ibadan and Ife, then I now said, okay, I'll go for the RN and then move on to the university. That was how I accepted to become a nurse.
And the picture I knew then was that nurses don't get married. They don't have a home. That was the picture I had. And I went into nursing with the mind that I'm going to change the narrative. So, and that's why I'm married. My marriage is 32 years old, and I'm still in the marriage. So that I can be an emblem, an example for other nurses to know that nurses, you can be a professional nurse and still retain a home.
And at the point of interview, I remember one of the interviewees asked me why I came to nursing, because with the result that I brought, that I'm likely to leave them when I get a better admission to a university. And I told that person that I didn't have plans to even look for any other option, that I really want to do. And I got in there, and I just love what it is. I love the experiences. I love the challenges that came along with it. Though there were all kinds of challenges, in terms of people also throwing all kinds of banters to you. And at UCH, having medical students who also will talk down on you as a nurse. But I dealt with some of them, because I had a schoolmate who was also in the medical school when I was in the School of Nursing. So I just used that one. You better talk to your colleagues who think that everybody who is in nursing is a non-entity, that if they are not careful, we will deal with ourselves when we get to the ward. And most of the time, you see medical students, nursing students always have to relate at the point of learning. So we know ourselves very well, we're very friendly. So that's how I got to nursing.
As a student nurse in the University College Hospital Ibadan, I started my journey in January 1975 in UCH Ibadan, because I didn't really want to read nursing. I did not pay any particular attention to the nurses around me. But eventually, with the people I related with, especially within the school premises, my tutors, especially my principal then, Mrs. Alade, I got to start liking nursing. They were very gentle with us. And then I saw the environment of UCH, especially the hostel. They were treating us like real children. For example, I will start by saying then Nigeria had money and we did not pay school fees. Instead, we were being given level 2 salary then every month. Our feeding was free. Laundry was free. You would even get tea break at 10 a.m. with Reese biscuits. And then at 4 p.m., you will get tea with Queen's cake. The environment was very neat, very, very neat. And so I became attracted and then relaxed with myself to complete the course, the program. And I wanted to go straight for my BSc nursing. But my principal then advised that it was better I go for my registered midwifery certificate, which I did again in University College Hospital School of Midwifery. Before then, you would work 1 year in UCH before you are admitted into the School of Midwifery. And immediately I finished my midwifery, I applied to UI and I was given admission.
Due to strictness of my parents, the both of them have now to force me down to go into the nursing, which I started from Lagos State School of Nursing, Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, in year 1983 for my registered nursing 83 to 86. From there, when I finished, I joined Lagos State Health Management Board, then now Lagos State Health Service Commission. Still having nursing days like that I'm going to drop nursing because I don't like the nursing, seeing somebody at the bedside, most especially during our PTAs. It's like if you walk into the hospital, bedpans are there for you to wash, Macintosh are there for you to wash. You have to, it's a routine, and it's one day in a week that we go to hospitals. It's about washing of dirty linen, washing of all sorts of things that you think of, why should I be the one? But when it comes to academic aspects of the nursing, yes, I'm always very good. But when it comes to clinical area, seeing people being sick, seeing people dying, and I'm being asked to be at the bedside, taking all sorts of things like vomitors, like urine bag, emptying of urine bags, all the kind of mundane works that then I used to think of, why should it be me? Why should I be the one to be doing all this kind of thing? Why can't I just think of another profession? Why there's nursing? So I was nursing this hope that I will live, I'm going to live.
I got to know that UI BSc nursing started in 1964. Most people were not aware of it. And I was in school in 1980. Most of my lecturers in UCH then passed through the UI program. And there was particularly one of the tutors that left a lasting impression in my mind. And I decided that I was going to be like her, maybe somebody that you see as your role model. Her name was Mrs. Filani. I wanted to be like her. She just finished her BSc nursing then and came to teach in the School of Nursing UC. I think now she's a professor. So she left an impression in me that I must do my BSc nursing. In fact, my goal was to eventually lecture in the university and become a professor. But exigencies of life sometimes slow you down. Marriage and childbearing slowed me down. Well, I have no regrets.
I applied to the School of Nursing, University College Hospital, Igando, where I had my training for 3 years. So by the year 1987, I graduated from the school and became a registered nurse with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. So that's how I became a nurse. After I qualified in 87, I was working in private hospitals until 1990 when I got employment with Lagos State government. So when I joined the Lagos State government, I worked for 2 years. I became a confirmed staff. Then I had opportunity to go for in-service training to become a midwife. So I attended Lagos State School of Midwifery in the then 1 to 9 Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. So I also became a midwife. So after that training, the school identified me as someone that will be able to impart knowledge. So the school hijacked me and asked me to become a clinical instructor of midwives in the year 1995.
I went to a school of nursing at UCH. Okay. I did my first degree at the University of Ibadan. Okay. I did a master's in nursing in this university. I did another master's at the University of York, UK, in Women, Gender and Development. I did a PhD at the University of KwaZulu-Natal.
South Africa, isn't
Yes.
it? Okay.
So I'm a registered nurse, I'm a registered midwife, I'm a registered public health nurse.
I found myself in the educational area, so I need to now upgrade myself. And this led me to go back to school, which led me to become a student in the Department of Nursing. Department of Nursing in University of Ibadan for my first degree in nursing. The Department of Nursing in University of Ibadan had been there since 1965. Okay? And I just came on board in 1998 to become a student. But I happened to be a student of the last set of Bachelor of Science in Nursing Education. We were the last set. Because that program commenced in 1965. My set was the last set of the 3 years program in the university. After which the program transformed into Bachelor of Nursing Science, a 5-year program.
And I started my career. I went for youth corps in Kano and taught in the School of Nursing Kano. It was City Hospital then. I think it's now a teaching hospital. Then from there, I moved to St. Luke's Anglican Hospital, Wusasa, Zaria, where I was appointed as a nurse tutor. And then from there, I moved back to Lagos after marriage and started my career in the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. I was looking at being not fulfilled, working as a civil servant in Nursing Council. I was almost going back to school when I got an invitation to work with a non-governmental organization.
So by the year 2006, there was vacancy for the post of the head of School of Nursing, and I applied and I was given. So I became the principal. In School of Midwifery, I was the vice principal or deputy head of school. But in School of Nursing, I became the head of school. And I was the last head of School of Nursing, Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, until it was relocated to Igando in Alimosho local government. I also became the first principal there in the School of Nursing, Igando, Lagos State School of Nursing, Igando. And from there, I rose up to become the director of nursing in 2014.